what does a hostile client and a dog have in common? A while back, as I was at my friend's farmhouse, and in the evening, I took a stroll a little away from his house. And just as I turned, I saw this, I just turned my head towards the house and I saw this, 100-pound or more, massive Saint Bernard just bounding at me, getting straight at me. And in that moment, I knew I'm going to get bitten. There was something, I've been a dog lover. There was something in the way this guy just came at me like a freaking freight train. I knew I'm going to get bitten. What do? I have no clue why, but out of the blue, when this dog was about 2-3 meters away from me, I just took my cup of tea and threw it out, just like that. And this dog, charging full speed, stopped dead in his tracks, turned towards the tea and started sniffing it. I got out of there really, really quick, Okay, now the corporate world, similar stuff. You're in a meeting and the client says something in fact, let me just tell you. I was in a meeting and I was trying to pitch a 90-day learning journey. My client only wanted one-day workshop, right? So after I completed my pitch, the client just turned towards me and said, "Wow, I'm confused." And with experience through the years, I just know the minute the client says, "I am confused," the deal 9 times out of 10 goes south. You agree? Could be a stakeholder, not necessarily a client. Okay. And in that moment, I did something similar to what I had done with that Saint Bernard. I pointed over the client's shoulder and there was a coffee machine sitting at the back of the client. I said, "If that machine is still working, can I build myself a cup of coffee?" A client, he took half a second to understand what I was saying and then turned and said, "Oh yeah, sure." I walked over to the coffee machine and built some really crappy black coffee, Americano, what you have. And I came back, leaned in to the client and said, "I'd be confused too if I could get behavior change from a 1-day program." I paused and then continued to say, "What I've gathered from our call, our chat, our meetings is that you want demonstrable change. And that happens if you spread the intervention out across a sizable chunk of time." Conversation carried on. I got the deal signed off. Now, why? Why does it happen? This is what the science is also now confirming, something I've done intuitively. In a word, it is called incongruity, as in doing stuff that the brain isn't expecting. So the next time you're in a tough spot, the stakeholder calls you out, escalates, pushes you back. Instead of opening up your 15-slider deck, instead of launching off into a long explanation, and the worst is, instead of becoming defensive, what you want to do is stay detached. Listen, acknowledge all of that. Look at the person. Don't be distracted, but stay detached. Number 1, don't lose it. Number 2, do something that the brain isn't expecting at the moment. When you do that, like asking for, does a coffee machine work? What that does is, when you ask or say something that the brain does not expect, that question or that statement kind of jolts the brain out of its current state. And in doing so, it makes it more amenable to the upcoming suggestion, to what you want to say next. Go try this out the next time. Stop looking at difficult conversations as something to run from. Go try this out in your next meeting.